Nice communist dictatorship you got there right off the coast of America. Would be a shame if somebody liberated it, especially if it was somebody who speaks Spanish and whose parents were refugees from the communist dictatorship of Cuba. And when you see the CIA director sitting across the table from Cuban intelligence officials in Havana in a room that is decorated like, I don't know, the cafeteria in Jurassic Park, it is not a good sign for the Cuban government. A very bad sign to have John Ratcliffe rolling and riding dirty through the streets of Havana. What's going to happen next? CIA director visits Cuba for rare meeting as island runs out of fuel. You see, Cuba's in a state of continual blackout, not like a little bit of blackout, like the entire island has no more fuel. The Russians, who provided about 1 out of every 8 barrels of oil that Cuba needs to sustain itself, just stopped shipping oil. What do you think that is? We know what that is. The Russians just stopped showing up for Cuba. This is, of course, the first time since the Cold War that that's been the case. And at the very same time, the CIA director is getting on a federal government plane in Havana. Look at this, United States of America, offering aid. I think what's going on here is that there's like a pragmatic trade that's going on about being in charge of your own sphere of influence in your own hemisphere. That includes Taiwan and China, because it's like Taiwan's really close to China. That probably includes like major land secessions to Russia in the Ukraine war, bringing peace, and America just not fighting that and just being like, just take it, just take the Donbass, right? Like you fought for it, you got it. It is what it is. And it probably involves like Russia and China getting the F out of our hemisphere, not fighting us over Venezuela or Brazil or South America or Cuba. And I think that's what's going on right now. And we have some proof for that. It's amazing. Russia just like straight decades of frozen relations. Russia just straight up walked away from Cuba. So Russia's just abandoned Cuba. The Cuban Missile Crisis, and everyone's gonna die, and Bay of Pigs, and let's kill Kennedy over this kind of stuff. Nope, it's all gone. And now the United States is planning on black bagging one of the Castro brothers. Look at this. U.S. federally charges ex-Cuban leader Raul Castro. Chances are 68% because that's what we say we're going to do. U.S. is moving to indict Raul Castro. Now, why would you do that? He's like 95 years old. And it's like dying at this point. The reason why you would indict Raul Castro is to prove to the island of Cuba that they're not in control anymore. They're not in charge. 94-year-old Raul Castro is the brother of Fidel Castro. They committed, innumerable war crimes together, including Fidel Castro saying he wants to, he was going to use Russian nukes to blow up New York, and it would have been worth it. And so then what happens when you take an island that is already like depressed and in the third world and in total darkness, and you prove to them that they're the leadership, the communist dictators that have lorded over them with fear and terror, that they are going to be just arrested and that the CIA can just come in and do deals? Well, you get rid of all the illusion that there is some type of power or some type of scary thing that you should be fearful of. And that's what's happened. Look at this. The headquarters of the Communist Party of Cuba is on fire in La Lisa, Havana. This is from last night. And it's from an account that's been posting an enormous number of Cuba videos. It's very hard to get videos out of Cuba. One, like nobody having power and nobody having internet means that it's very difficult to know what's truly going on the ground. It is still a closed society. It is still a tyranny state. And so the people there have no freedom. Uploading a video like this or burning down a Communist Party headquarters could absolutely get you killed without question. But what you can see here is the Communist Party headquarters on fire in flames amid the nighttime protests shaking Cuba, with burning garbage barricades and blocked streets. An important building owned by the Communist Party of Cuba in Havana has been set on fire. Nobody knows if it was the work of protesters or an accident, but meanwhile, I recall the heroic protests, the Cuban regime ready to fall. Headquarters of the Communist Party on fire. Again, people have very little power. They have virtually no internet. So it's very hard to get on the ground reports. For the fourth consecutive night, the streets of Havana were closed to traffic by fire barricades. Cubans with empty pots took to the streets, protesting and demanding freedom. The regime denies reports of the fire at the headquarters in Havana, in spite of the fact there's video of this happening. So they use an AI image of that's a fake flag. They use an AI image. It's kind of funny. The Communist Party of Cuba is using AI to say, no, don't worry. The building's still there. Well, show us the building. Huh? It was like, false. Okay, sure. God bless the Cuban people. Surely, with his help, it won't be long. The only communist headquarters that shines in that place is the one that is still burning. Now, the world wants more proof. What do we need to say? Shut down communism. I mean, if the Cuban people just revolted, it would all fall. This is the end of communism. People are fed up already. Long live Cuba. Oh, no, not that. Anyway, have you heard the CIA has begun operations in Cuba? Yes. Why did they let the CIA in? Why? Everyone's like, this is it. This is the kiss of death. Because they had no other option. That's why. Protesters in Cuba attacked Communist Party office in revolt against blackouts. Now, this is from approximately 1 month ago. So this has been happening. This is from March 14th. So this has been happening. Look at this. Here's a slightly more clear footage of protesters setting fire to Communist Party headquarters in, Moron Ciego de Avila. So this has been happening. This is confirmed, by the way. This did happen. So they did set the fire to the building and burned it to the ground. We've never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like this in Cuba. It's all happening. It's all happening right now in front of our very eyes. And I think that by the end of the year, you're going to see the complete and total toppling of the government of Cuba. CIA Director John Ratcliffe met with the grandson of Fidel Castro, who says he wants to turn the island into a capitalist utopia. Well, the CIA is excited about that. Ratcliffe urged the Cuban officials to take a lesson from the January 3rd operation that toppled Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio is wearing the Nike Air Max tracksuit on Air Force One headed to China. It's a message. It's all a message. It's all happening right now, and it's very exciting. Pray for Cuba. Pray for liberation. It's your boy Benny. Be in control of your own hemisphere, right? The Don Road Doctrine. Smart.